Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Happy November. It's November, y'all. It's November. I am so excited that it's November. I'm excited because November means it's my birthday. November means it's going to be my anniversary. So I'm excited. Come on in. We're just giving all the platforms an opportunity to find us some people. Hey. Instagram is already populating. I'm so excited you guys are here. Hello. On Facebook, hello. Say hello when you get there. Hey, my own. How are you? How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Okay, let's see who's with us on Clubhouse. We got a couple of folk in the room on Clubhouse. Y'all, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm excited because it's November and this is my birthday month. I know I'm looking for something. I'm looking all around. I can't find it. It's my birthday month, y'all. And it's my anniversary. I finally found a man who wanted to spend his life with me. And so November 11th will be our 4th anniversary. I have not gotten rid of him in 4 years, y'all. I need y'all to just be excited for me right now. So I'm excited. Happy Monday. Happy November. Welcome to Move to Millions Monday. I am your host, Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon. I am the CEO of Incredible One Enterprises. We work with 6-figure service-based entrepreneurs and we help them make the move to $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. I use Move to Millions Mondays as an opportunity for us to just come and have conversations on topics and things you need to be thinking about as a business owner, as a CEO, if you truly desire to take your business to the next level. Now, millions is a little subjective, right? Because maybe you want millions, maybe you just want to be able to pay yourself consistently every 2 weeks, right? Whatever it is that you want, here's what I want you to know. The principles apply. Everything that we share with you here in this forum once a week is designed to set you on a trajectory to be able to take your business to the next level, whatever that means for you. We've realized over this year, we've been doing a brand refresh. So some of you come every week and you hear me talk about it every single week. Our websites are in development. Hallelujah. I'm so excited. It's been an amazing process to go through the rebrand, right? Or the brand refresh, because we didn't change our company name. We kept our purple, right? We have been just really intent on getting really, really clear about who we are here to serve and how we serve them. And so as a result of going through this brand refresh, it's really opened up such an amazing amount of clarity for us. And so today I wanted to talk to you. It's November 1st. Some of you haven't begun to think about 2022 yet. Now, others of you are trying to figure out how to get out of 2021 so you can just get a blank slate and start over. So I want to talk to you today about the importance of prepping and planning for 2022, right? Now, I'm going to say this, and it might not make you feel warm and fuzzy, but I have to keep it real with you because that's what we do. If you are just now about to plan, you're behind. I recommend, and I personally create my plan for the next year in August. You want to write this down if you're taking notes. You want to be a full 90 days ahead at all times in your business. Being less than 90 days ahead puts you in reactivity instead of proactivity. And the mission of your company must be to be proactive. That is how you grow. That is how you leverage. That is how you scale, by being proactive, by being crystal clear about what you're doing in advance of when you actually do it. See, some of you are just, you're focused on Black Friday, and okay, be focused on Black Friday if you want, right? We did that room and live a few weeks ago all about Black Friday and how to not discount your services because it's Black Friday. So you want to go to my Instagram, or we'll put it on our YouTube channel if you want to see what I had to share about that. But here's the thing. Your Black Friday should already be planned. And your Black Friday should have been planned 90 days ago. So that means in the third quarter, you should have been figuring out what you were doing for Black Friday. If you're just now trying to figure out what you're selling on Black Friday, you're way behind, and you're going to miss your ability to maximize the time that is ahead of you. The cool thing about being proactive in your business is that you give yourself and your team time to ease into what needs to take place to get the results that you want. When you're running, full force because you're late, you're going to get winded and you're eventually going to run out of steam, and that can affect what shows up inside of your business. And that is not what we want for you. I'm all about being proactive and not about being reactive. In our programs, we help our clients to be 90 days ahead. If you're looking at doing a launch, you want to know everything that's going into your launch before you get to the point of launching. If you're waiting until a week or 2 weeks before you're supposed to launch, there are going to be some things that you're going to miss in the process that's going to impact your ability to be successful. And that's not what we want for you. So I'm going to just share some of my my tips for those of you who are either just now finalizing your plan or just now starting your plan altogether. Listen, I'm going to make this a no judgment zone as much as I can. I'm not judging you. I'm here to support you and to edify you. But I also want to make sure that you're crystal clear about what it's going to take if you're starting now to prepare for January. We're 30 days late on our plan of getting everything in place. So we have to be cognizant of that. And we have to account for that. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad or to make you feel like you can't still get it done. But what is likely to happen, depending upon what you're planning for first quarter 2022, is now you're going to have to scramble, which means some of the things that you want to do are not going to be done as well as they could have been done if you had that extra 30 days. So it is technically too late, but we're going to act like it isn't too late and talk about the things you want to do in preparation for each quarter. And these tips that I'm going to share with you are what I recommend that you do at the beginning or in preparation for every quarter. So right now, you should have, ideally, you would have your entire 2022 plan already mapped out. So today on our team meeting, I revealed to my team our 2022 plan. Now, I've been working on it since August. We've already begun to put things in place, but I gave the team the directives of what we're doing in 2022. I did that in our team meeting today, right? So as you're going through this process, ideally, again, all of 2022, we want to get that done as quickly as possible if it's not done. If your 2022 is already done, tell me. Put a 1 in the chat for Facebook and Instagram, and on Clubhouse, just raise your hand if your 2022 overall plan is already done. Because see, that's just one layer. I see some hands. I see some ones. Yay. Shout out to you. But that's just one layer. Because after you do all of 2022, then you've got to do first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, right? So not only should all of 2022 be done, but you should be very clear about what's launching or what's happening starting with January 1st, 2022. So let me see. Let me just do another quick test. If you are already clear what is launching, what you're making available to the world on January the 1st, again, I want you to put a 1 in the chat or raise your hand if you're on Clubhouse. I'm just taking a little survey to see where you're. Okay, I got a couple of hands. Awesome. Good stuff. Congratulations to those of you who are there. If you're not there, it's not too late, but we got to play catch up. Because we want to make sure that when we hit January 1, or actually, yeah, we want to make sure when we hit January 1, you know, your whole team knows what switch they're flipping. So like, for instance, for us, we have some things that are happening in the fourth quarter. Our rebrand is being finished. December the 1st, we're announcing our live event. So last week, I put out really soft in our Facebook group. Shout out to the Move to Millions with Darnyelle group on Facebook about our event that's coming May 25th through the 27th, right? I'm starting to talk about it so that when on December 1st, we announce that the event is coming and people can now save the date or get one of our early bird tickets. we already are putting things in place for that. So the team right now the team has been for a couple of months now working on what we're doing for Black Friday and what we're doing on December 1st, right? And December 2nd, because I'm also on December 2nd, I'm launching my Leverage and Scale Enrollment Events course. So for those of you who intend to do a live event in 2022, I've got a brand new course that is coming out based on 11 years worth of doing live events myself and generating 6 to 7 figures inside of 3 days. And now I just finished a beta program where I worked with 15 businesses and taught them my process so that I could make the course even that much more juicy good. Oh, it's going to be so good. So you want to put that on your radars. December the 2nd, we're going to start promoting it. November the 19th. December the 2nd is when I'm going to host a free preview training for my live event. See, even I'm teaching already why I just break down to you what we're doing in our business. Now, we knew we were hosting that preview training on December the 2nd. We knew that well before now because we're running our business at least 90 days ahead, right? On January 1, we have an email sequence starting that is all about our tour because we're going on tour. We're doing the Move to Millions tour in February of 2022. So January 1, you'll be able to start working on, actually, it's not January 1st. We're not launching until January the 15th. But so on January the 15th, you'll be able to get a ticket to join us in one of the 5 cities that we're going to be in February, late February, for our Move to Millions tour. I already know this. I already know that this is what's happening because we don't run our business at the time that we're in. We run our business ahead. So my team, they're writing copy, they're building pages, they're doing all the things so that when we're ready to launch, we're ready to hit go on January the 15th, everyone's excited. Everybody knows what's going on. Okay. So just giving you that as an example of what it looks like to be ahead. So I could keep going, right? So April of 2022, we are opening up a soft launch for my new book. I bet you can't guess what the book is called. Move to Millions. So we know that we're doing a soft launch in April for our book. Everyone who buys a copy of our book, and anyone who registers to come to our event in May will be the first to get their copy of our book because the book is not officially going to be released until July the 1st. But I already know this. We're already working on the assets and building out what's happening. If this is helpful to you, put a 1 in the chat or raise your hand if you're on Clubhouse. Of hearing what we have planned for next year, right? Our live event is May 25th through the 27th. So we're using that event as an opportunity to springboard the book that comes out July the 1st for the world. But the people who come to the event are going to get their copy in advance. The book is so good, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you enjoy these Move to Millions Mondays that I do, they have nothing on what's coming inside of this book and how I'm literally going to lay out the blueprint for you to make the move to millions in your own business inside of the book. So I'm really, really excited about that, right? I know when all of our virtual events are happening next year. I know when we're doing Plan for Millions. I know when we're going on tour. I know the live event. I know all the things that are happening. I want you to get some time to do that. I literally have a calendar in my, in our storage room. We have this huge wall calendar where we have on that calendar all of the big dates, and we're going to go back and fill in all of the other little pieces that go along with making those big dates happen, but we do this in advance, right? All right, so that was just kind of the backdrop of why we do all of this. Now let me give you 5 tips that I wrote down for you in preparation for preparing for 2022 in the event that you haven't already started. Yeah, you might be working on Black Friday. You might be working on things in the 4th quarter, and that's all fine and good. But if you don't start working on what you're doing in the 1st quarter of 2022, you're going to continue to feel rushed and hurried and like you're catching your breath in your business. I want you to have a business that serves you financially and spiritually with grace and ease, right? I think about that scripture in Proverbs 10 and 22. The Lord makes man rich and adds no sorrow with it. That means there should be no hustle. There should be no grind, right? We should be able to just be, and in being fully experience the wealth and abundance that has already been earmarked and reserved for us. That's what we should do. That's what our businesses should support us to do. Number one, first thing I want you to do, if you haven't done so already, in preparation for 2022, is do a SWOT analysis on your business. Now, you may have heard me talk about a SWOT analysis before. In the event that you have not, let me tell you what a SWOT is. A SWOT, it's an acronym. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? Your strengths and your opportunities are helpful to you. Your weaknesses and your threats are harmful to you. Your strengths and your weaknesses are internal. Your opportunities and your threats are external. So as a business, as soon as possible, I want you to evaluate what has happened this year. What are the things that went well? What are the things that went wrong? What are the things we do better than anybody else who technically does what it is that we do? What are the opportunities that if we could figure out X, what opportunity would it open up for us? These are just some examples of things that you want to be evaluating as you do a SWOT analysis on your business in preparation for 2022, right? And I recommend that you do this no matter where you are in the process. Now, we work with six-figure service-based entrepreneurs, but even if you're earlier in the game, you're not at six figures yet, I highly recommend that you start doing SWOT analysis. Doing one a year on your whole business and one per quarter on the quarter. And if you're launching anything you're doing, after we do our live event, we do a SWOT. Like anything that you need to evaluate, the things that you're doing are done well, or what you could do better, what you could improve upon. If the results aren't where you want for them to be, usually a SWOT is what needs to be done in order to help to make that change. Okay, so that's the first thing, is I want you to do that SWOT analysis as soon as possible. Ideally, if you haven't done one, can you do it this week? By November the 5th, could you have your SWOT analysis done? If you could get your SWOT done by November the 5th, raise your hand if you're on Clubhouse, or put a 1 in the chat if you're on Facebook or Instagram. If you'll get your SWOT analysis done by Friday, November the 5th. Let me sidebar and say this too. I see some hands. Let me sidebar and say this too. By the 5th of the month, you also want to have your financial results for the last month done. You want to get them to whomever is your bookkeeper and or accountant no later than the 5th of the month, so that they can get you the results and the reporting back no later than the 10th of the month. Because when you have where your business is financially by the 10th of the month, it gives you 20 to 21 more days in the current month to leverage that information to improve your standing and your performance and your results. See, this is about being proactive in your business, not being reactive. Some of you, I know, you wait until the end of the year to figure out what's going on with your business. I don't recommend that. I don't want you to do that, because you're behind the 8 ball in your own business. You're the CEO. CEOs should know what's going on. You should know what the key performance indicators are. You should know what the lag metrics are, what the leading metrics are. You should know all of that stuff on a monthly basis. How else can you shift and change and identify that a strategy isn't working if you wait until the end of the year to do your taxes? So that's not what I want for you. So I want you to start making sure that you are privy to what's going on in your business. Listen, some of you, I know many of you who are watching, you're not yet at the point where you can be operating your business full time. You're still working a job, right? And that's totally okay. I think you should keep your job until you know that your business can produce more income than you make on your job. You want to shift your mindset, right? You want to start looking at your job as your client instead of your provider, so that you get in the mind frame of what it is like to start operating as if you are a consultant. But I want you to get in the habit of thinking ahead and not just being stuck where you are right now. Number 2, second thing you want to do in preparation for this this 2022 plan that you're going to be putting together is you want to check in with your clients. Clients that you're currently working with, clients that you worked with this year. You want to check in with all of your clients, and you want to ask them a series of questions. You want to find out what they enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy, and what they still need. Let me tell you why you want to know what they still need. You want to know what they still need because that allows you to evaluate. Remember, we just talked about the SWOT analysis. That's going to allow you to evaluate what offerings you should keep, you should intensify or up level, and which ones you should get rid of, and what new ones you should create based on what your clients are telling you. The reason why your clients are primed to share this information with you and they're people you should be listening to is because they invested something to work with you. They put their money where their mouth is. And so they've earned the right to give you feedback on what you've created and what you're doing to let you know whether or not this is going to be good. Right? We want you to be able to leverage what's happening with your clients into getting new clients. So as a part of your prep for 2022, what are your clients saying? What are they loving about your program? What could they leave from your program? What do they want instead? Or what do they want in addition to whatever is currently in your program? Now, just because they want it doesn't mean you have to fit it into the program. You need to have a very clear understanding and vision of the program and the outcome based on the results that you say you want to provide to them, right? So once you know that, you can take the information that they share with you and decide whether or not you want to do anything with it. It could mean that it creates another offer for you. When you have clients that are graduating from your program, after doing this research and getting their feedback, it could open up something else that you could create for them. And so now you might have had just a 1-level program, and now you have a new program for year 2. So there's a lot of great things that'll come out of checking in and evaluating what your clients have to say about working with you. Now, you have to be prepared to take everything that they share with you, chew the meat, and spit out the bones. There's likely to be that one client who is disgruntled, who didn't get what they want because they didn't show up for themselves. Don't take ownership of that. Evaluate it for what it is, right? Always be looking at the feedback that you get on your programs, apples to apples or oranges to oranges. Don't be looking at an apple when you are an orange, right? Don't do that because that's going to create agita and confusion within yourself and make you question who you are, and you don't really need to question that. Number 3, the third thing you're going to need to do in order to prep for 2022 is determine your goals. Like, what do you want to accomplish in 2022? Right? You need to know that. So 2021 for us was about the brand refresh. That was our primary impetus. And even though that was our primary impetus, we have had a stellar year. We almost quadrupled our mastermind program. We doubled the investment and we tripled the number of clients that we had in it. And we did this in a year when we were focusing on refreshing our brand. Right? But that was the impetus for 2021, was just to get all of our assets in place to be able to put ourselves firmly on a trajectory to being the Bentley of business coaching. That's our mission. That is our goal. And to create massive impact and millionaires or $1 million business owners. Because being a $1 million business owner is different than being a millionaire, right? Because your business could bring in $1 million in revenue, and depending upon how much you spend to run your business will determine what's left over. Whereas we also want to teach our clients how to build their net worth so that they are stacking millions as well as generating millions, right? And so a big part of all of this process and determining your goals is to know what you want. So 2021, our theme was refresh the brand. 2022, our theme is to move more of our clients into setting their businesses on a trajectory of millions. Now, I'm really excited to report you guys are going to be amongst the first who actually ever hear this. I'm so excited. So we've been producing a docuseries this year. I bet you can't guess what it's called. Move to Millions, right? We're very consistent. That's like a sidebar tip. Very consistent. Once you determine what your key messaging is, ride it until the wheels fall off. And so we've been producing this docuseries, and a big part of our docuseries is that we featured 4 of our clients. One of our clients that's featured was already $1 million company. The other 3 had desires to become $1 million company. I'm so happy to report that based on initial results of where we are now, today's November the 1st, but each of those businesses that we featured they crossed the $1 million mark this year. It makes me so excited. So excited. So excited. So excited. And in fact, in our mastermind, 30% of our clients are on track to have $1 million year for the very first time. So we're really, really excited that we're living our mission, that we're living what we're here to do. And I just kind of get blown away because it literally was October the 23rd, 2020 that God gave me Move to Millions. I had been praying for my movement. I had been praying for the work that I'm here to do, and he gave it to me, and look what happened in a year. So let this be an example of what's possible for you when you are in alignment and flow and obedience. In this season, the rest of 2021 into 2022, all you need to do is surrender and be obedient. That's all you need to do, right? But we got to know what our goals are. Now, I've shared this with you guys several times. For probably 2 years. This will be the 3rd year. I stopped setting a traditional revenue goal and started setting a tithing goal instead. And I did that because I found myself chasing the number, being really, really focused on the money instead of being focused on the work that I do. So by focusing my efforts on a tithing goal and being able to tithe at a higher level, it still allowed me to accomplish the goal of serving deeper and getting more clients. But it took that edge of just money off of it, right? Because for me, it's the income is important because I want to create greater impact. And so by tithing, y'all, listen. So this year to date, as of today, November the 1st, I've tithed more than $150,000. I have right now 40, I'm going to tell you exactly how much I have right now. I'm going to pick it up. I have $41,503.12 in my tithe account right now that I need to distribute. Right? So determine your goals. What are your goals? So my tithe goal for next year is $500,000. That's what I want to tithe the next year. This year, I'm going to end up by the time the year is done, we'll be at around $250,000 that we tithe, that we sowed into individuals and organizations that have fed us spiritually over the course of this year. My goal for next year is $500,000 tithe. Now, you can back into the number and figure out what our revenue goal must be if I'm tithing $500,000, right? Because I do tithe off of the top line of what my company produces. Every dime in is 1 penny out. That's something that has been really, really important to me. Okay? So because I do that, it just makes everything happen so seamlessly. Y'all, there is no striving when you are tithing. Oh, that's good. That could be a t-shirt. There is no striving when you are tithing. No striving. That means grace and ease and flow. That's what I mean when I say surrender and obedience, right? The tithe isn't yours anyway. It belongs to God. It's the mandate. By giving him that 10%, you give him permission to open the windows of heaven and pour out blessings that you don't have room enough to receive. You basically, by giving that 10%, you make your 90% end up being like 120% or 180%. That's what you do when you tithe. And so when I switched to that in my business, I watched everything change, y'all. This has been we have been doing the most this year because of the brand refresh, but this has also been the easiest that I've ever worked in my business. My team is showing up and lining up. Like, it has just been so easy because I've committed to being obedient and being in surrender. And so as you set your goals, right? Proverbs 16:3 says, I can't even tell you. I'm going to tell you the Darnyelle version of what it says. I just drew a blank on the exact scripture. But basically, Proverbs 16:3 says, commit thy works unto the Lord, right? So you make your plan and then you commit it to God. Yes, marketing and sales, they play a role. But listen, you can't beat God being the head of your marketing and sales department in your business. Can I get an amen? If I can get an amen, raise your hand or put a 1 in the chat, or put amen in the chat if you want. So we got to get clear about what our goals are, right? And we got to get clear about our goals based on where we desire to be, not where we are today. Biggest mistake you can ever make is look at 2022 based on what you've accomplished in 2021. No, ma'am. No, sir. I want you to look at 2022 based on what you know you are deserving of, based on the potential that you hold, that if you could get into flow and alignment, you could blow the roof off of every area of your life. That's what you want to base your 2022 goals on. Your goal, write this down. My goal should be so big that in and of my own strength, it's not possible. If you can do it by yourself, yeah, it's not big enough. God has to be in your goal for it to be successful, right? Half of goal is go. And that goal comes from you understanding the importance of taking the actions after you release and surrender the goals themselves to the Lord. That's what I know to be true. But that's the third thing you need to do. Let me do a quick recap. And let me do a quick reset in case you're just joining us. Hello, welcome to Move to Millions Monday. I am your host, Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon, the CEO of Incredible One Enterprises. We work with six-figure service-based entrepreneurs, and we help them make the move to $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. It's so exciting to do this work, to watch our clients thrive. I am just so elated. Whenever I check in with clients, they're like, yep, I did that. I hit this goal. I hit that goal. It's amazing what happens in our community, in our space. And so I just want to thank you for being here for Move to Millions Monday. This is my joy. This is my give back online to all of the communities, all of the places we show up, just to show up and just share, just to be of service to you, to be able to add value to where you are. If you are listening and you are a six-figure service-based entrepreneur and you'd like to learn more about working with my team so we can help you make that move to millions, I welcome that. You can go to gettoknowdarnyelle.com, gettoknowdarnyelle.com. That's our link tree. So you'll see lots of links there. There are some freebies you can go and download. There's a place for you to go and watch my case study of how I grew my business beyond the $1 million mark. And there's also the opportunity for you to apply for our programs if you're ready to come and sup with the best. There's no one like us in the marketplace. No one competes with what it is that we bring together for our clients. It's a whole vibe. It's an entire experience. It'll change your whole life if you let us. So enough about me. Let's get back to what we're here to talk about today. So today we're talking all about prepping for 2022 and how many of you might not have already started to work on your plan, and that's okay. If you are just now getting started, I want you to maximize this next 61 days, 30 days in November, 31 days in November, or 30 days in November, 31 days in December. This next 61 days, I want you to maximize it. So that on January 1, whatever it is you are desiring for your business and life experience in 2022, you already have a plan in place to begin to make that happen. Now, I want to tell you that as you're going through these steps, I'm going to review them. Number 1 was to make sure you do a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for your business this whole year? Number 2 was checking in with your clients and getting feedback from them on what it's been like to be enrolled in your program so that you can evaluate what you want to keep, what you want to get rid of. Maybe there's an opportunity to create a new offer for them. Like what is the pulse of your community saying to you based upon the services and the transformation you've provided for them this year? You need to know that before you start working on your plan. So this year, I had finally put on my board that I was going to create my leverage and scale enrollment events, which I'm going to be launching on Thursday, December the 2nd. If you are not on my list, go to gettoknowdarnyelle.com so that you'll be made aware of when we open up the registration for that free training. But I put that on my list last year that I wanted to get it done. Well, now that I'm checking in with clients, I have this other online course. Well, it's not even an online course, y'all. It's from the days when we had CDs. So we need to update it. But in 2022, I'm going to be updating that particular course. It's called Speak the Incredible. Powerful if you want to leverage the power of speaking in order to grow your business. Why did I say that? I figured out that I needed to update Speak the Incredible. Like, I knew it in the back of my mind, but it became very obvious in talking with clients and hearing from clients what they want. And so as a result of listening to them share with me what it is that they are desiring and what they're needing in order to continue to further solidify their million and multi-million dollar year, I realized the need to resurrect this old product and to bring it up to date based on what needs to happen today to get booked on really big stages, right? Or leveraging the power of every speaking engagement to be able to get new clients to enroll in your programs. I built my business to the $1 million mark entirely through speaking and live events, 100%. The very first time I ever ran a Facebook ad was 2019, and it was late 2019. And I'll be honest with you, we have not spent a lot of money on Facebook ads because nothing beats speaking in live events and being able to leverage the power of organic marketing to fill the room, which is something that I happen to be really, really good at. So, but checking in with my clients has helped to make that difference. Number 3 was to determine your goals. You need to know what your goals are so that you can erect the plan. Number 4, you're going to have to, this might have been, maybe should have been number 1, but you're going to have to up level your mindset. You cannot go into 2022 with your 2021 mindset. And you can't. I was trying to see if I could find a way that it would be okay. It really isn't. Even me, I'm going to have to up level my mindset because 2022 is going to be, it's going to blow the roof off of what we accomplished and what's possible for us, what was possible for us in 2021. So you're going to have to spend some time working on your mindset, right? Now, you might want to work on your mindset before you determine your goals, depending upon where you sit. If you're the type of person who likes to play small, if you're the type of person who likes to question whether or not you really are as good as you know you are deep down, if you're that kind of person, then you might want to work on your mindset before you set your goals. That way you can totally set your goals from your vision point and not your vantage point, right? I encourage you as you work on your mindset and even as you set your goals to stretch yourself. If in 2021 you made it to 6 figures, so you're going to end the year with at least $100,000. First of all, congratulations. I celebrate you. That's a big deal. Do you know that 90% of small business owners do not ever cross 6 figures? So the fact that you made 6 figures is a huge deal. I celebrate you. We both know that you cannot stop there. We know that you have to keep moving because getting to $100,000, if you didn't realize it already, you will realize it. It's still not enough, right? $100,000 is really about $48,000 once you factor in everything that goes along with that. You're not even typically in the right tax filing status to be able to maximize and reduce your tax liability. So you're paying more taxes than you need to. Even though you have the pass through, you still are paying way too many taxes. That's probably a class for another day. But if you happen to get to the 6-figure mark at the end of this year, not only does that make you eligible to come and work with us in one of our programs, and we can help you to accelerate your path, but it also puts you on a trajectory to know what's possible for you. So I want you to stretch yourself. If you happen to get to $100,000 this year, I want you to stretch yourself and at least double your goals for next year. Do not play it safe in an effort to just do what you did already. At least double. So we're going to end this year around 2.5 million. And so our goal, I already told you, my tithe goal is $500,000 in tithing. So that means $5 million in cash and revenue. We're going to double our goal for next year. I want you to double the goal, even if you don't think you could hit it. This is where up-leveling your mindset comes in. Even if you don't think you can hit it. Well, here's what I want you to write down. All right? You have to realize that you will get more while you're moving than you ever will if you stand still. And the best way to put yourself in position to achieve at the level that you were meant to play at is to at least double your goals. So that's my recommendation for you, is that you at least double your goal. And what you want to do after you double that goal is back in to what's going to be required in order to hit that goal. Now, you don't need to know how you're going to hit the goal. You just need to trace the steps of what you know to do in order to determine how hitting that goal is going to become possible for you. I know that sounds crazy, and some of y'all I probably lost, and that's totally okay. But for those of you who are still with me, trust and believe that is how it happens. It's a decision. I think Emerson said it best. Once you decide, all of the universe, God rearranges the whole universe to bring you what you decided. But you got to make the decision first, and that's why determining your goals is so important. But don't do it before you've checked on your mindset, right? And then the last thing I want you to do as you prepare for 2022 is I want you to look at ways to simplify what it is you're doing day in and day out in your business. Write this down if you're taking notes. Simple scales. Complex fails. The more contrived your process of how you're going to get to your goal is and becomes, the harder it's going to be for you to actually achieve your goal. Simple. You may not realize this, so I'll tell you just in case. You can get to the $1 million mark with 1 or 2 offers. Now, those offers are going to have to be higher end offers, but you could totally do millions with, like, for instance, one $20,000 offer, and you bring on 50 clients in a year. That's like 4.16 clients a month. So 4 clients a month at $20,000 a pop will take you to the $1 million mark when the year is over. It doesn't have to be hard. If you're taking notes, write that down. It does not have to be hard. This is why I'm not an advocate for hustling and grinding, because there is no striving in getting your business to the next level when you understand what it takes to be able to get to the next level in your business. All right. So those are my five tips for you to be able to prepare for 2022. Do your SWOT analysis, check in with your clients, determine your goals, up-level your mindset, and simplify the process that you're using to get there, because it does not have to be hard. All right. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Fred, to share your thoughts on everything that I shared today. And I'm praying that you're going to not say you covered everything, and you're going to give the people something really, really good to chew on. Oh, but I don't have the speaker. So hold on a second, Fred. You can't go yet. I'm going to keep talking for a few more minutes because I need the speaker. When you come out, can you bring the speaker? Yeah. Okay, so she's going to bring the speaker. So we're going to hold on for a second. So here's what I know. I know that if you begin to be proactive in your business, if you maximize these next 60 days, and really focus in on what you want to be happening in January, you have the potential to put your business on a trajectory to be in an entirely different place this time next year. It's going to require that you do that SWOT analysis. It's going to require that you check in with your clients and find out what's working well. See, this is not about having a business just for the sake of having a business. It's about being impact and transformation in the lives of those that you serve. And when you get yourself in position to be that way, you really do open up a conduit for amazing things to happen. I believe that people support what they help to create. Thank you. And when you offer your clients the opportunity to support what they help to, or to help to create, you will get their continued support in the form of them renewing in your programs. We have like an 85 to 90% renewal rate year over year in our programs. And it happens that way because of the way that we run our programs. And that is what I would want for you too. If you happen to be just joining us, I just saw a few more people pop on. You'll definitely want to go back and watch the replay. The replay will be in our Facebook group, the Move to Millions group on Facebook. If you go to movetomillionsgroup.com, you can join us in our group, or you can just go to gettoknowdarnyelle.com. All the URLs are there, or it'll also be on my IGTV once this is over. So what we want to do now is I want to hear from Fred. I want to hear from Zora. And then we have time to take a couple of questions. So Fred, what do you have for the people?
Yeah. So you just mentioned that your clients will, when they give you your feedback and you make your adjustments, they kind of feel more committed to what they help build. I say the same goes to your employees. How many of you, when you strategically plan, you might sit there by yourself and think of all these goals you have, you back into the numbers, you think all these things you need to do and implement, and then you bring that idea to your employees and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. When you bring these plans to your employees and say, what do you guys think about this? What's your opinion on this for 2022? Based on the feedback that you're getting, based on the interactions that you're getting, how do you think we can improve the 2022 plan based off this? Or should we even scrap this as a whole? When you get that kind of approach, as opposed to you making the decisions and having your employees follow along with you, they start to get a sense of ownership in your plan. Mm-hmm. Now, when you say, hey, I know you came up with this idea, why don't you run with it and create me something I can add? I know me and Darnyelle do it a lot. Is when we started doing modules, I would start creating them. She would start just being an editor instead of an author. Mm-hmm. That made me feel a sense of ownership, not only to the clients, but to the company, as well as me becoming just better at my job as a whole. So I would keep in mind that when you guys have employees, have them help you build the business, mm-hmm. because you are not going to be the millionaire you wanted to be standing on people's backs, but you will get there with the support of the team around you.
Oh, that's so good, Fred. Yeah, I think that is a very important tip, especially as you're preparing for 2022. So we had our whole team come together in...
And Darnyelle might be muted right now.
I am muted.
But
I was steady talking. I was steady talking too, Fred. That was a great tip. And I was just saying how we, as a team, we met in New Orleans to start the process of working on our strategic plan in August. And then the finalization of it, and then presenting it to you guys today, and you being able to add your additional 2 cents to it so that we know exactly what it is that we're working on as we go into 2022. I think that that's such a great approach to being able to make sure that as you prepare for everyone that is affiliated with your brand and your company, which I think is really powerful. There was a question that was asked on Instagram. The question is, how do you feel about the power of building your own platform? I love this question. I love having my own platform. I have been on some really big stages. I've spoken at the $1 Million Roundtable. I just recently spoke at an Eric Thomas event. I mean, the biggest audience I think I've ever spoken in front of is like 12,000 people. Lots of big events. There is nothing like having your own platform to be able to have it your way. That's why I started doing live events. And then we cracked the code on live events. We started to create 500,000 or more in 3 days, right? Like in the early days, we would only do like maybe 120,000. That only happened like maybe once. And then from there just went up and up, 300,000, 400,000, 600,000, 800,000, a million, 1.3 million, 1.8 million. Like we just leveraged all of that from the power of having our own platform. So I think it's great when you can get put on someone else's stage, but I think every single one of you is phenomenal and amazing, and you could create your own stage. And there are people right now who are waiting for you to show up fully in that way. So I highly recommend and definitely co-sign having your own platform. That was a great question. All right. So what we want to do, I want to give Zora an opportunity to share if she has something she'd like to add to the conversation about prepping. And then we're going to take a couple of questions. Zora?
Thank you, Darnyelle. I want to build on what Fred said, which is when you are co-creator when we are co-creating with you, Darnyelle, it gives us a sense of ownership and participation, and the same with the customers, that you want to always listen to the voice of your customer. So by co-creating with them, it just creates a sense of loyalty. So I think that is a great contribution from Fred. One thing that I love about Darnyelle is the simplicity. She's very consistent in her messaging. So when she says about simplifying your process, we're in a world that everything wants to be so complex and complicated, and you need to learn this and learn that and learn this and learn that. And the truth is, simple does it. So anyway, I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Zoro. Thank you so much for that. All right. We have time to take a couple of questions. So for those of you who are on Clubhouse, you can raise your hand and we'll invite you up to the stage. If you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, you can ask your question. I normally make you guys come and join us on Clubhouse, but we don't really need to do that today. So if you have a question, you can either put it in the little question box. That would be ideal on Instagram. On Facebook, if you have a question, put it in the comments. Or you can come and join us on Clubhouse if you have a question about preparing for 2022. Things you need to be thinking about, cognizant of, blind spots, anything that goes along with getting this process prepared for in the right way. I'm happy to weigh in and add my 2 cents on. Again, in the event that you're just getting here, welcome. We're excited that you joined us for any portion of Move to Millions Monday. I invite you to go back and watch the full recording just so you can hear my 5 tips of what you need to be doing right now to prepare for 2022 in the event that your plan is not already done. For those of you who are on track in your business and you're working 90 days in advance, I celebrate you. Congratulations. That is a huge deal because most people work reactively instead of proactively. We love working with business owners and helping them to become $1 million CEOs by teaching them the power and the value of working proactively inside of their business. Okay, so we've got a question on Instagram. Can you share more about niching down your target audience and how that can impact your revenue? Yeah, there are varying schools of thoughts on having a niche. And I know the saying, niches get you riches. Here's what I will say. If you're going to niche down, I want you to niche down in the problem and not in the people. Because you can serve lots of people that have the same problem that are ready right now to invest in the solution. The universal law of business, I'm going to recite it for you. I don't think I made this up. It's possible though. But the universal law of business says our mission as business owners is to get found by the group of people who have the problem that we solve, the spice problem that we solve, that are ready right now to pay for a solution to that problem. So if you're going to niche, make the niche be about the problem. So instead of being like, I work with entrepreneurs who want to grow their business, like that's way too broad, right? So get very clear and specific. So for us, we work with 6-figure service-based entrepreneurs that want to be at 7 figures, right? And I could go deeper into the problem, right? Into how we solve that problem, niche down that way instead of the people. Because the process itself typically will work for instance, using us. Again, we work with service-based businesses. So we work primarily, most of our clients are coaches or consultants, but we also have attorneys and accountants. I could also work with an interior designer or a personal trainer or a financial advisor or a caterer. I could work with anyone who performs a service. So because I'm niched on the problem and not on the people, I really allow for my income to continue to accelerate at any particular point in time. So that would be my recommendation to you, Delicia. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Great question. Tamala says, I don't have a question, but I just want to say I really love the 90-day planner and the 2 kit has been great. Yay! I'm so glad you love it. We love that planner. If you want to learn more about our planner, go to gettoknowdarnyelle.com and there's a link for you to click on to learn more about the planner. All right. It looks like we have one. Do we have any questions over here? I got more in Instagram too. All right. So I can't, for some strange reason, I can't see who's trying. Oh, here we go. All right. So, both Diamond and Kenya. Hey, Kenya and Diamond, I'm inviting you guys up to the stage. I'm going to take one more question for Instagram as you guys are coming up. Okay, so Global Apostle. Oh, hey, girl. We just met last week. Thank you so much for this listen session. What advice do you have for us who are just beginning and have not yet reached the first 6 figures? So here's the thing. Even though you haven't reached 6 figures yet, that's okay. Start doing this process now. As you start right now thinking about who you serve, the problem you solve for them, and the solution you provide to them, make sure that your price point is such that as you show up fully for them, Apostle, you will be able to get them transformation and feel really, really good about the service that you're rendering. That offer, that program that you put together, my recommendation is that it be at least $10,000. I know sometimes Sometimes that makes people want to swallow their tongue, but that's my recommendation. Because think about it this way. If you have a $10,000 program, you only need 10 clients to make $100,000. So that's when I say it doesn't have to take long. It doesn't have to be complicated and convoluted. It can be really simple. That's what I would have you to do. So get really, really clear. Like if someone were to walk up to you with a check for $10,000, what is the problem you would solve for them and what would be included in that program to get them that solution? That's what I would want you to focus on right now as you're building out and thinking about next year. 10 clients over the course of the year is not even one client a month, right? So to bring on one new client a month, you have to be consistent in your marketing efforts of who it is that you're looking to attract so that people can know that that's who you are and what you're known for. And as a result, seek you out to help them to solve their problem. Hopefully that helps you and gives you some initial insight. All right. Welcome to the stage, Kenya.
Hey, Darnyelle.
Hey.
Thanks for inviting me up. Hey, everybody. I had a question about the Clubhouse in terms of prepping for 2022. The thing I loved, I was so excited about Clubhouse is that it was like fresh, brand new prospects because, as you know, your list can get pretty silent and pretty stale sometimes and frustrating. Any tips on how to grow your following?
On Clubhouse?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to invite Natalie up. I'm going to invite Natalie, who's one of my clients, up because she could probably answer this question better than you. When it first started, Kenya, I was all over it. The first 90 days, I generated more than $300,000 on Clubhouse. And then now we only show up once a week. And I think my following is pretty stale. I think I have maybe 6,000 followers. Yeah, 6,100 followers or whatever. Whereas Natalie, she shows up several times a week on Clubhouse, and her rooms are always jumping and hopping, and she's closing clients in her program. So Natalie, let me just introduce to everybody, Natalie Bullen. She's known as Unapologetic Wealth on multiple platforms. She is she's a lot of things, but what I love most about her, she shares the same commitment that I have in order to be able to eliminate poverty mindset and create generational wealth. Natalie, can you share with Kenya some ideas about how to grow her Clubhouse?
Yes. I'm excited to be here. We were in sync, too. I was just about to raise my hand. I think there are a few tactics that you could employ that could help. Think about Clubhouse with the attrition it has. As Darnyelle says, you can see people with 5,000, 6,000 followers, 10,000 followers. How many of those people are still on the app? And how many of those are your ideal? For me, I employ a 3-pronged strategy. One, I'm consistent. That can look like having a standing room. That can look like talking about the same topic. That can look like being with powerhouses. I'm going to tell you now, I don't host rooms with peers. I host rooms with people like Darnyelle that's already 2-3 steps ahead of me. So be careful who you mod. Be careful who you mod rooms with. I don't do messy rooms. I don't do gossipy rooms. I don't do your man cheated on you, what you gonna do rooms. I don't even go into those things because people get alerts when you go in a room. So when I go in a room, my mom gets a push alert on her phone. Natalie is speaking in a room. I don't want people getting alerts that I'm speaking in rooms that are trash or I'm speaking in rooms that are low value or that vibrate at a low frequency and are going to attract broke clients. So think about what you want to put out there. Be consistent, however that looks. 2, you need to make sure that you actually give content. Darnyelle don't show up here for an hour to talk about nothing. It's not a sales presentation. I mean, if you want to work with her, great, but there's value. So make sure that you're actually here for the right reason, and that is to increase the value that is perceived in what your company offers. 3, you should really be careful to not allow this to become a time suck. So if that's scheduling time, if that's limiting your rooms to a power hour, I actually teach my clients how to make $10,000 a month on Clubhouse in 2 hours a week. So be careful to not go too far off the deep edge. Nobody wants to hire a coach that seems like they don't have any clients because they're hanging out all day on Clubhouse. So make sure that the perception is, hey, I'm a professional. I'm here to give value, and I'd like to work with you, and you'd like to work with me. And here's how that's mutually beneficial for the both of us. Hope that helps, sis.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Darnyelle.
You're welcome, Kenya. So good to hear your voice. All right, Diamond, I know you have a question. I'm going to go to another question on Instagram real quick, and then we'll swing back to you. So the Jordan Cartwright says, I'm a brand consultant. What are your tips to monetizing your IP? Oh, Jordan, I love this question. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And the reason I love it is because, first of all, the fact that you already know that you need to be thinking intellectual property and how you can do it. I think people will pay you more for what you know than what you do. And so the fact that you know that just already makes me excited. So here's a couple of things that you can do in order to monetize your IP. So your programs themselves, whatever you're doing, I see that you have offers that are between $10,000 and $60,000. I love that. That's really phenomenal. I wonder if any of those offers are around licensing, right? Do you have a certification or a licensing program? That's one way to monetize your IP. The other thing that you want to do to monetize your IP is talk in frameworks. Like, for instance, in my work, I don't even know, I've lost count. I have at least 30 frameworks. So when you hear me speaking about specific things, they are jargonistic to you, but they are everything to us in our community because they lay out our frameworks. And every single one of those frameworks has been registered as a trademark to protect us. We also have created all of our content to be licensed. So tomorrow I could get a deal with XYZ company that wants to provide entrepreneurial content, and my content could be white labeled to them. Your programs themselves and working with your clients, you should give your clients a limited IP, and because it's your intellectual property that you have protected, it should cost more. You can see how excited I am to talk about this. So your program that might have been $3,000 just because you're like, oh, I'm going to get them to this result and I'm going to get them there real quick. But because you've taken the time to put a framework in place and to make sure that that framework actually produces the results, that immediately should accelerate your program up to $10,000. Now, I know you already have programs between $10,000 and $60,000. So you already understand that piece of it in your client agreement. If you have a client agreement, now I'm not an attorney. I don't play one on TV. Check any advice I give you legally with your your legal management team, but you should have a limited license in your contract, your client agreement, that allows them certain benefits of being able to work through your framework. You should also have a caveat in those same contracts of how they could further license your IP if they want to make it available to other people. So one of the things we have to get out of from that is the ego of this is mine. Listen, at the end of the day, there's really not anything new under the sun. If you teach marketing, the way you teach marketing should be the way everybody else teaches marketing. The only difference is that the terms and phrases you use are different than the terms and phrases that I use, right? So given that, if you understand that going in, the way that you protect and monetize your IP is not allowing people to get access to it for low ticket. Not only does low ticket not transform, it also doesn't grow your bank account balance and your ability to provide wealth for generations to come, right? The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. If you are creating IP, then that means you are set up to leave an inheritance because all of your IP is inheritance, all of your IP has inheritance potential. That was a great question. All right, Diamond, what you got for us? You're going to be our last question, and then we're going to call it a Move to Millions Monday. Welcome to the stage, Diamond.
Hi, good afternoon, Darnyelle. So I actually, at first, I guess my hand might have been raised from the previous question or something that you had asked, but I will go ahead and ask the question about programs. So with putting together programs, I hadn't actually done it. I know I've talked about possibly doing it, and I hadn't really done it yet. Mm-hmm. That fear of just making sure that everything is right before I put it out there. Is there anything that you feel like a program must have or should have in regards to offering that to clients or prospective clients? And as you may know, I'm in real estate. That's right. What I do primarily. So.
Yeah, I would say a program should have a clear outcome. So what can I expect if I participate in this program? A program should have a clear framework, a path forward to produce that outcome. A program should have a clear container. How long should it take on average if I show up fully for myself inside of this program to get the result that you say I should get? Those are 3 things that I would say any program needs to have. Now, how your learning modality of how you're sharing the program I would recommend that it have all the components. Everybody likes to learn different. You have some people who want to see it, like they want to read it. You have some people who want to hear it. You have some people who want to experience it fully, right? So they want audio and video. You have some people that want immersion. They want the experiential nature of it. So you should think about having all of those components inside of your program. And remember, the more components you have, the more it should cost. Will never be the girl who recommends that you create a program that is going to deliver real transformation that doesn't have a price tag that denotes real transformation. I want people to know, to work with us, I want people to know that they're going to make this investment. As Natalie has said before, they could pay me or they could buy a car. But when they pay me, they're going to open themselves up to be able to buy a whole bunch more cars. So you want to get really, really clear about that and stop waiting. If you're not sure how to build it, put together a beta and allow people to help you to build it. Remember, people support what they help to create, and then turn around and ask those people to give you the next people that should enroll in your program. So those are some of my thoughts. Fred, anything else you want to add to that?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I think you got me on. You covered it all for this question.
Okay, awesome. Well, we just want to thank you guys for hanging out with us across all the platforms on Instagram. No, beta should not be free, Delisha. Absolutely not. I just did a beta of my Leverage and Scale enrollment events. I taught it over 8 weeks and it was $3,000. So absolutely not. You're still showing up and you're showing up fully. So I definitely would recommend that you charge accordingly based on the transformation and the transferable result you're bringing to the lives of those that you are working with. When we roll our course out to the public, it's actually going to cost more than the beta price of it. And it's not going to include me in there because now we're clear about the full transformation that results when people go through that course. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us for Move to Millions Monday. We'll be back here. Oh, will we? I have to figure out how. I need to find out if we're going to be back here next Monday because I'm traveling to speak at an event and I feel like I speak on Monday. I need to verify, so stay tuned. What'd you say, Shanika? Oh, I speak Tuesday morning? Oh, they changed it because I thought it was Monday. And Tuesday is what day? The 9th? Oh, they changed it. Okay, I need to let Jude know. Okay, so then we will be back here on Monday for Move to Millions Monday because I can do it no matter where I am. In order to do that, if you are not following me, go to gettodarnyelle.com, gettonowdarnyelle.com. Also, make sure you're following me on whichever platform you're connecting on. Follow me. You'll be notified every single time I go live. And I promise you, if I come here and I open my mouth, it will be worth your time and your attention. I don't do fluff. I got way too much to do. I run a multiple $1-million company. So for me to decide to show up, it's because I have something I want to share with you. And I want to share it with you just to share it with you. If you decide that you'd like to learn more about working with me and my amazing team to grow your business, we welcome the opportunity. But please know, if you are not at the 6-figure mark, you are too early for our programs. We do have a really powerful business growth accelerator. And if you either shoot me a DM or if you go to gettonowdarnyelle.com, you can learn about our self-paced business growth accelerator. That will get you to the 6-figure mark if you apply it. We've had people go through that program and generate $150,000 in 90 days. So I know that it works. It's self-paced. You can do it at your own pace. If you go to Get to Know Darnyelle, you can learn more about that. All right. So I want to thank you guys for your time and your attention and hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Until we meet again, God bless and keep you. May his spirit shine upon you and may he give you peace. I love you guys and I'll see you the next time. Take care. All right. Now this always takes time because it's like